what that is? So we're going to be doing a documentary. We're calling it Kubrick's Eyes Wide Open. You ever see the movie?
Yeah.
Stanley, by the way, Stanley, for a filmmaker like me, I'm a documentary maker. But if you look at Stanley Kubrick's biggest films, such as 2001 Space Odyssey, he posits the idea there's possibly something buried on the moon that we're going to find. Well, I did a show for NBC Universal Sci-Fi Channel called Aliens on the Moon, The Truth Exposed, several years ago. You can see it everywhere. Go find it, everyone. Buzz Aldrin agrees with me as I interview him that there's evidence of alien artifacts around us. He didn't want to say our moon.
Dude.
Wait, he didn't want to say our moon. I tried my best. Hold on one second. But he said, and it was a mandate, I could only interview him if I did include his belief there's a monolith on the moon near Mars called Phobos. Not our moon, but I believe he saw things on our moon too.
Robert, you have to do deep dives into the moon itself and what it represents, because if you study it, it doesn't make any sense. It's perfect orbit. Our gravity isn't strong enough to hold it there. Why is it there? There's cultures that date back thousands of years, talk about the time when there was no moon. There's a lot of people who think it's an alien planetary body, that it doesn't even make any sense when you discuss it. So when you say there's weird shit on the moon, I totally believe that.
No, think about this for a second. I'm going to fix something on my light. The thing about this is important. The moon is one of the biggest mysteries we've ever encountered. Why did NASA not go back to the moon when they already had the Saturn rocket paid for and bought, all the lunar module, everything was ready to go? 3 different missions were just scrapped for no reason. And by the way, the other reason we're not going back to the moon quite yet is it's fucking expensive. Do you know how much of our gross national product we used to get to the moon back in the 60s? Keep that in mind. You know how much?
Billion?
Well, let me just tell you this. Here's my opinion on everything, because I kind of want to get back into the demonic thing. But,
sure,
like Robert, you and I, we're a little older than the 2 guys over here. We've seen a lot of stuff. We've lived a wonderful life.
Yeah.
And so someone said to me, "Hey, Sam, what is this world we live in? What is this? What is this? What do you think it is?" I think it's a realm. And if you study like not just Abrahamic religions, but you study like Hinduism, you study Vedic astrology, you study these things that are much older than the Abrahamic religions, they all talk about God trapping entities down here. And so when we get into this kind of world, there's a famous movie that I don't know if it's famous, but it was pretty popular in our kind of world called Late Night with the Devil. And it's a mockumentary. How would you say it is, Johnny? It's a mockumentary.
I never heard of that.
I would call it a found footage film. I would call it.
Okay.
But it's not real. But it's like it comes off.
It's a fictional found footage thing. It's where they
like Blair Witch Project, like the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, it's both beautiful and cheesy at the same time. It's a real, for what we're talking about right now, it's a really interesting watch.
What's it called? One more time in the name.
Late Night with the Devil. And it just came out, and it got a lot of buzz, especially in our world when you start talking about the occult. But we had this guy Isaac Weiss, this guy, a good friend of ours, Isaac Weissip, on the show, and he was talking about how this realm is like the occult realm. It is a realm of the occult. That God trapped entities down here and created a realm of the occult. And spirituality, whatever you believe in, I don't know what your religion is, that's your personal business, none of my business. Whatever you believe in, that is the cheat code to ascend out of this dimension to higher dimensions. It's like, I just take when you start talking about like why are they putting all this demonic stuff in? It's because maybe they're playing to those who they think run the realm. Have any thoughts on that?
Well, let me ask you guys collectively, but also directly. What do you believe the truth is about the Illuminati? What do you believe Kubrick was trying to say, or what he at least was saying in an entertainment way, about a cabal that controls the news media? You see, Stanley was very, very picky about how he went about his things. That's why he only made a couple of movies in his life. He made 7 or 8. I mean, the guy was a genius. Why would he make more movies, right? Because he wanted everything to be based on fact. He best he could. He wanted to bring a sense of reality to what he was doing, because filmically he was doing such amazing stuff filmically, but still he wanted the ideas to resonate with society, maybe predictive a little bit. So he wrote a movie called Eyes Wide Shut. He worked years and years and years and years studying a lot. He even studied the demonic issue. And his belief, I believe, was that we are being run by a satanistic, Kabbalistic, and in every way, Luciferian world. We are controlled by a Luciferian overbody. Bill Clinton said it himself. Bill Clinton was interviewed, I believe, in China. And say what you want about Bill Clinton, but maybe he talks too much. He said, there's a government above the government.
I totally agree with that.
And
I totally agree with that. And you get into all these different kind of like political philosophies, and I'm not here to discuss them, but the Illuminati, Freemasons, Nazis, Zionists, communists. I think we can go through all these kind
of
dollar
bill itself. You hold up the dollar bill and think, why are these Masonic symbols in our dollar bill? What is going on here?
The founding fathers were Freemasons. If you get into that, and you're like, Johnny brought up a good thing one day. He's like, we look at these founding fathers that like they're the old men. Like one guy was 19 years old. Dude. You're like founding the country at 19.
I know people don't realize your expectancy of life was like 35 back then.
Yeah. So it's like that to me is what it's about. So when we start watching these things, whether it's like when we find out like all the rappers are like down low brothers, meaning gay, and you see like. And it's like, why is that happening? And it's like you have to get through the initiation to the highest levels of power, and that's kind of what you have to do at all these different things. And it's like super interesting when you see the symbolism everywhere. Like even Jeffrey Epstein, like there's so much occult symbolism on his island.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? And by the way, that's how the sex trafficking. That in many ways, Stanley Kubrick in 1999 was aware, 98 and 97, he was aware of sex trafficking and prostitutes and how they might be brought into a cabal like the Illuminati. He was a genius in his style because you don't have to have 18 scenes. You need 3 or 4 very powerful scenes. So where does it lead us? I think you mentioned maybe kids. My kids are 20 and 23, basically. Why would Doja Cat, someone they know very well because she grew up in the same town, my kids, in Tarzana, California, why would Doja Cat have a 27th year birthday party built around Eyes Wide Shut? Why is everyone dressed like the characters of Eyes Wide Shut? Why is Eyes Wide Shut being played up so big by Doja Cat? If you look at Doja Cat a couple of years ago, go look at a song called Say So. She's this very attractive, kind of blonde girl dancing to like 70s music. She's having a great time. She looks normal. She's great. Look at her at Coachella 2 months ago.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened to this woman? What?
You're totally right, dude.
I say it to you now. She's claiming, amazingly, that her demonic focus is not the Illuminati. She goes out and says, I am not promoting the Illuminati. I'm simply being creative. And you go to a concert, not Coachella, other concerts, she's playing up demonic symbolism. She's doing kind of weird demonic stuff on stage sexually. It is a nightmare. So we're living in this world where if CERN opened portals to hell, and maybe the Mandela Effect was caused by some of this, a lot of other bad shit's going on. A lot of other bad shit.
So are you